Have you ever thought about how some classes would perform if they could equip mail or even plate armor? Well, today I'm going to find out. For those unfamiliar, the world is randomized in a semi-controlled manner, shuffled into different level brackets, hardcore rules, 1 life, and after losing 3 characters, the world resets. Class and race rolled online. We lost 11 characters so far. In Season 2, I integrated an achievement system that lets me earn permanent upgrades for both the current and future runs. Last time, we earned these achievements. Today's goal: unlock mail armor for any class. To do that, we need to reach level 225 blacksmithing. Back in the Barrens, I had already taken down the rare mob, Ghost Howl, which dropped a quest item that needs to be delivered to Mulgore. I head over to scout the area and it's clear I'm not getting through it. The zone has a modifier, though this one is actually helpful. Treasure Zone, which triples the gold enemies drop in this area. Still, this area is too dangerous for now, so I circle back once I'm stronger. First priority: push enchanting higher. I head back to Silithus to farm some gear. And a few rares later, I had more than enough mats to hit level 70 and then 75. Level 70 enchanting unlocks the Greater Magic Wand, which is the current best weapon I can equip. And 75 completes another achievement, increased skill up gain. It's not a massive upgrade, but still, all of them add up. Now it's time to pick up blacksmithing. Not exactly a typical choice for a priest, but the payoff is going to be huge. Back in the Stone Talon Mountains, I start mining and smelting, and my skill climbs steadily. I unlock Journeyman mining, and smithing is not far behind. That puts us right around skill 150. Mining doesn't have a necessary character level requirement, but blacksmithing does. To push the cap further, I need to be at least level 20 for blacksmithing, which means more zone corruptions. If corruption hits the wrong zone, it could cut off some key materials that I need, so I need to stockpile everything in advance. Hundreds of hours later, we're getting close. I didn't run the exact numbers, but I believe it's time that I start leveling a bit. If I run short on mats, I'm just going to farm some more. In the process, I hit 225 mining, which means another achievement unlock. The reward is an extra profession slot, and I'm going to go with enchanting once again. This is useful because it's going to make my inventory management a bit easier, and I have a lot of items I can disenchant from blacksmithing. And although all of these skills are going to be hard to level and the other slots could be harder to get, any other slots I may need I can get from fishing and first aid if I leveled them to 225. Which shouldn't take that long, and getting enchanted to 300 has a massive bonus. Enemies start dropping enchanted gear. Before leaving Orgrimmar, I grab every spell from the trainer, then head out to explore Feralis, and it's bracket 3. That's the 16th zone revealed so far, 4 more to go for a +1 to the max level cap. Mining nodes here are a bit sparser than in Silithus, but at least we find a few rares. The Foe Reaper 2000, which drops our first 10 slot bag, and then Geopriest Gukrock, who drops a +6 Spirit Staff. That's 18 rares down, 12 more to go. In no time at all, we hit level 20. Time to check the corruption map. Mulgore got hit with Blood Moon. Not the worst outcome, but not ideal either. Buskwood has Titan's Grip, which is not going to be a problem at all. The other 2 zones that were corrupted are still hidden. Let's hope they're not too bad. On to crafting. Turns out I slightly miscalculated the mats, so I have to run back for a bit more. But after a little bit of grinding, it's done. Level 20 and blacksmithing is at 225. Mail armor is now available to equip. On priest, stamina probably won't scale as impressively as it does on a warrior or a paladin. But it should make a real difference. Instead of my cloth equipment that I had equipped before, I buy some grey mail pieces from the armor merchant, and our physical damage reduction rises significantly. With the new gear on, I head to Thousand Needles to pick up the Flight Path. The increased aggro range from the zone modifier is immediately noticeable. As soon as I grab the Flight Path, I get aggroed by several enemies. I have to rush for the lift. Thankfully, enemies don't follow me inside, which was a close call. If they did, I would probably have died here. My mail item pieces that I bought now probably made a huge difference here. Back in Orgrimmar, there are 2 blimps right outside of town. The tower guards at the top have been replaced by enemies, as usual. So, when I notice that the bottom guards have not been replaced, I just drag them downstairs. The guards take care of them. I get inside the blimp and head for Undercity. Tearsfall Glades turns out to be a bracket 3 area. Also, it has the swarm modifier on top. As the guards have been replaced by enemies here as well, getting off the blimp is going to be rough. I try to pick off one of the enemies while they can't reach me inside of the blimp, but all of this takes too long. So, as the blimp starts moving, I have to jump. The moment I land, the swarm modifier becomes immediately clear. The aggro range is way off from what I'm used to, and I'm constantly in danger. My usual feel for enemy distance is completely thrown off track. I'm completely thrown off my game. I can't measure the enemy aggro range as I usually do. I go for the city's back entrance, and every step is a struggle. On the way there, I get aggroed by several enemies, but eventually I make it inside. The zones with heavy modifiers feel a bit too punishing right now. Rather than nerfing enemy power, I think the better fix here is going to be increasing the rewards from the achievement system. Something like a vendor that sells stat boosts at an ever-escalating price. This would probably be the best solution, as it would raise character power without trivializing the challenge itself. The city itself has a handful of enemies, but nothing unmanageable. While getting to the priest trainer in town, I get another rare enemy kill, and that's 19 in total. When I do reach the trainer, I complete a couple of quests, unlocking 2 undead priest abilities in the process. One of them is Touch of Weakness, which weakens enemies and causes them to take extra damage. The other one is Devouring Plague, a shadow dot that heals me for a part of the damage dealt. I'm 3 quests short of the next achievement, which grants an additional 0.1 to our talent point gain. I want to prioritize these, and picking up some gear along the way wouldn't hurt either. So, I return to Kalimdor. I do the first 2 quests in the Samouflange questline, but I can't do the third one as it requires me to kill a rare mob I haven't found yet. So, I have to cancel it from my log. Still, that's 2 quests down. After that, I do the Lost in Battle quest. It takes a few minutes of running and nothing else. It was pretty easy. And just like that, we have 5 quests completed, and the achievement is done. 0.1 talent points gained. This was so easy that I want to keep going, focusing on quests that don't need much effort. Up next, I go to Stone Town Mountains. I knock out the Ziz Physics quest, and that's 6 quests done. He offers a follow-up that would take hours of searching for a specific NPC, so I have to skip it. Instead, I do the Deep Maw Spider Egg quest. Oddly, the spiders that hatch from the eggs are still regular and scrambled mobs. That's something I'm going to have to look into for a future patch. With the items collected, I return to Ratchet and turn it in. That's 7 quests done. After that, I do report to Cadrak. That's 8 quests. Next is an escort quest, Protect Kaya, which turns out to be harder than it looks. I have to guide this Tauren out of the camp, and we get ambushed at the end. She nearly dies, and I would have died too if I had been under-leveled. The follow-up, Kaya's Alive, is a quick hand-in quest right after that. And just like that, we get another achievement done. Since I'm already here, I keep going. The XP from the quest is solid, and it's probably the most efficient use of my time right now. I pick up Cycle of Rebirth, a collection quest with no combat. We turn it in a few minutes later, and we get a solid drop of 7000 XP. The same chain has New Life, which just needs me to plant 10 seeds from the last quest. That one gives 10,000 XP, and a piece of gear, Sandspire Gloves, which is a male item piece, which gives 5 strength and 2 stamina. Not ideal stats for a priest, but better than what I had. That's 11 quests done. A quest in my log can be turned in at the Splinter Tree post in Ashenvale. I travel to Ashara and then make my way to Ashenvale. The camp is packed with enemies, but it's manageable, and I reach the NPC I needed inside. It gives a massive 800 XP drop, Light Path unlocked, and that's another step towards the next achievement. That's 12 quests done. Now that I've completed all of these achievements, we got enough skill points to make some changes to the build. So far I was mainly focusing on 1 mastery and defensive perks from the discipline tree. I think going for a Shadow Priest could be cool. And now Vampiric Embrace and Mindflay is available if I want it. So I go for all of these shadow nodes. I think the survivability could be pretty good if I had enough life sustain from the shadow spells, together with Mail Armor, which gives around 32% physical damage reduction, and Shadow Form later, which gives 15%, I could have some pretty good damage negation. But still, I have to test out some different builds before I try to tackle some of the dungeons. After making some changes to the build, I go to Stranglethorn Vale. One of the vendors there sells the Expert Fishing Skill Book, which could raise my maximum fishing skill to 225. And that would unlock another profession slot, which I would probably use for herbalism at the moment. And the next slot after that would probably go to alchemy, so I can poison weapons on any class. The possibilities with all of these professions are interesting, though for this character, I'm guessing the poisons won't be that useful, unless for some reason I decide to go for a melee-centric build. Still, I have no luck. When I do make it to Stranglethorn Vale, the vendor area has a couple of level 30 enemies guarding it, so that's not happening right now. While I'm here, I might as well explore some more. I decide to swim north, just like we did with Gnome. I take down another rare while on the way there, and eventually reach West Wall. On the coast there, I open a chest and find a piece of jewelry, a ring with +4 spirit and +4 stamina. I push through Duskwood to Deadwind Pass, and the area is revealed to be bracket 4. After that, Swamp of Sorrows, which is bracket 6. That's 18 zones revealed so far. As there's nothing else to do, I Hearthstone out. But it looks like Alchemy is going to have to wait, as the Master Trainer Rogvar is currently in a bracket 6 area, which is too dangerous for us right now. Back in Kalimdor, I wrap up the Egg Hunt quest in the Barrens. The Silithids have been replaced by crabs, but the quest still plays out fine. I turn it in at the crossroads and pick up the Violet Scale Armor, which gives us +6 stamina and +1 spirit. That's 14 quests done. That feels like a good stopping point. Next episode I'm going to try soloing some of the scrambled dungeons. Yeah, so I checked the Ratchet Warlock spot with the freshly created Gnome Warlock. The NPCs there can't train you anything. So, yeah, that couldn't have worked in the last playthrough. See you in the next one.